All right, everybody, welcome back. And this is going to be a trade recap on the trade that ended up profiting me at 100 handles going into this morning session. And I'm just pretty much going to dive into it. This is the 14th day winning streak. And today required a lot of patience. Most of my setups, they're mostly taken within the first 30 minutes of trading or done by 10:30 at maximum. But today, it was kind of a late kind of trade, and it just emphasizes the importance of being patient and waiting for the setup to form and for the things that you're looking for to be there, as opposed to forcing any trade because you just want to trade. So going into this morning session, the first thing that I did was to go into the daily time frame. One of the things that I was paying close attention to is that we were trading inside of this daily busy and also with a down close candle, which is a bullish order block. So we have this busy right up here. We are trading inside of this range, which is an area where we are anticipating price to reject. And also after trading inside of this big accumulation phase, now we're having a little bit of displacement towards the downside. So when we're here, one of the things that I did was to drop into the 4-hour time frame, seeing that market seems pretty bearish. On the hourly market seems pretty bearish. And now the first thing that I did was to hop on the 50-minute and look at this range. So we have right up here, we have high probability, relatively equal highs, and we also had high probability, relatively equal lows. Now, what is the first thing that is going inside of my head when we're trading inside of this range and we have high probability, relatively equal highs, and we have high probability, relatively equal lows? Well, at this point, I'm doing absolutely nothing. This is a gem right for the video. If we have relatively equal highs and we have relatively equal lows, the best thing that you can do is do not take any trade until one of the extremes are taken out. So I was pretty much content with looking to go short after the buy sell liquidity got taken to targeting the opposing side of liquidity. And I ended up going long because the opposing sell side liquidity got taken and then targeting inefficiency in buy sell liquidity pools. So when we're trading inside of this range right on 9:30 open, this is exactly that was my the exact same thought process. I'm gonna wait for one of the extremes to get taken out and patiently wait for the setup to form. So now that we have this narrative, right, we go into the 1 minute. We see the 9:30 opening going higher, tapping into the SIBI plus bearish order block right up here and sending prices lower, which I am completely fine with that. We are trading inside of the daily busy. We have generated sales liquidity right below those lows. We also have a bullish order block right below the almost lowest portion of the daily busy. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the narrative that was going inside of my head. I was like, if my 9:30 is gonna open high, then I will be looking to go short. But if 9:30 opens low, then I will be looking to take a long trade. So now this execution right here. So I saw the price went inside of the bullish order block, and then we see this little deviation outside of the daily busy. This right here on the daily time frame, this is a little mohawk, which is just a deviation outside the line with what would be considered to be perfect. I mean, if we look into the daily, this is just a wick, and it just happened into the daily bullish order block. And this trade right here, it was a break-even trade. I ended up getting into the trade and everything as part of the live stream, not hiding anything. I ended up getting into the trade and getting out of the trade right away. What was the reason behind it? Well, we had displacement. We have bearish PDRAs getting disrespected, which is the SIBI right up here. And one of the main thing that I was looking for is that we still have this line of defense right up here. So we have this SIBI that I was looking very carefully at. We tapped into it and then we dropped inside of the balanced price range because we have sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. So this becomes a balanced price range, and we also have a busy right up here. So once price tapped into it and went inside of the busy, I was waiting for a reaction out of that busy because understanding we don't want to see price spending no time inside of inefficiencies. It can spend some time below liquidity pools or above liquidity pools to give the smart money the chance to accumulate short or long positions. But when it comes to any inefficiency, any gap, we don't want price to spend any time in it. So when price went inside of this busy, I want to see an immediate reaction out of it. So I waited for the reaction. My field was around here, and I was looking to have a stop loss right here. But now, what is also one thing that I'm looking for? Well, I want to see immediate displacement above this SIBI because we already showed some sort of resistance, some sort of resistance. First time I went into it, we retraced, which is completely fine. But now the moment we retrace inside of this busy, I don't want a price to reject the SIBI one more time. I want to see a hot knife through butter and pretty much displace right onto it. We didn't get that. So we pretty much had a rejection out of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of the trade. This is still showing that it wants to respect the SIBI. And guess what happened? Price went lower. And that's pretty much how I ended up avoiding taking a loss going into this morning session. Then at this point, I'm patiently waiting. I'm still looking to trade until 11 a.m. And I'm still patiently waiting. And price is still, again, went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We see this low getting taken out. Price does displace. And guess what? Still respecting the SIBI. So that is still showing that we are in the bearish program. So then we have another drop going lower below this sells a liquidity pool. And again, we are looking for lower prices. Now we are looking for higher prices. Price can go lower 3,000 points and it doesn't really matter to me because I'm looking to take a long. Because the narrative is we already took sell side. We have buy sell liquidity right up here. We have relatively equal highs. So if sell side got taken, what's going to be next? Buy sell liquidity. Pretty simple. So we see market dropping one more time, and then we are slowly fading away going towards the upside. Now, at this point, what am I looking for? Well, if we are going to go above this buy sell liquidity pool, what has to be disrespected? Well, this SIBI right up here. So we have this SIBI. This is manipulation taking place. This is where smart money is accumulating a long position, spending enough time. This is completely fine. We are okay. It's completely fine. Price spending sometimes below liquidity pool, but we don't want to see price spending times instead of inefficiencies and gaps. So we see price going higher, showing displacement. And what do we have right up here? I'm just going to take off the executions for a second so it shows clear what it is that I'm looking for. So we have this busy right up here. And then we see price disrespecting the SIBI. So now this becomes an inversion for value gap. So if it doesn't want to function as resistance and price, what do we want to see? We want to see price go higher, go into it, and use it as support on price to target the buy sell liquidity pool. And this buy sell liquidity pool is high probability because they're relatively equal highs, and the high on the right is lower than the one on the left. So that becomes high probability. And well, this is amazing. Okay, that's distracting me. But we went into it. Let me put in the executions one more time. The moment we tapped into it, I ended up going long. Stop loss right here. Why? Because it's below the busy, and we don't want a price to close below the inversion FEG. So this is pretty much just giving it enough room for price to do what it wants to do, and still stay within the lines of the buy program. So price goes into it. I went long, stop loss right below here. We have a busy that's supporting our narrative and targeting relatively equal highs. And also one important level that I was looking to target was this low right here. Why is this low? This is not random. Because from this low to this high, everything in here is balanced. This is a balanced price range. We having all of this back and forth. And for price to really get above this balanced price range is going to take a very energetic move. So I was looking for the low-hanging fruit, which was the low of the SIBI, because price goes up for two different reasons. We're either going to seek liquidity or we're going to rebalance into an inefficiency. Price goes into it. Inside here, I ended up taking a partial, and that was also relatively equal highs. Took partials right there, and then got last of my contract right at that institutional level. And then we see we went above it right at a little bit, and now we are in the accumulation stage. When it comes to balanced price range, it takes a great deal of energy. It takes some manual intervention for price to really just go right above on a lower system liquidity round. So Even though that I'm anticipating price to get here, it's probably gonna do it on a very lackluster, high resistant liquidity run conditions. And you know how I trade. I don't like high resistance at all in any way, shape, or form. Can you make money? Absolutely. People out there are making money with it, but this is the kind of moves that I like to take. I avoided all of this back and forth, got into the trade, retracement, went to partial, and then getting out at an institutional level. And that was pretty much the trade. And from the entry to that was 100 handles, low hanging fruits, not looking to force anything, even though that I'm anticipating price to get here, but focusing on the consistency in and of itself. And still, there's still a lot of growth that I have to make when it comes to the trading game. I'm still learning, still improving, and it's great that while I'm still learning the skill sets, I'm making a little bit of bread on the side as well, which is great. And that's pretty much it. That was the little trade recap. Profited 100 handles. The account is going great, and sooner we'll be taking a payout if we keep on with the consistency going. And yeah, that was pretty much the little recap. 14th day winning streak. I mean, yeah,